Yo, what is going on, guys? Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on the Arrowverse, but mainly to do so with the Flash Season 7, Superman and Lois Season 1, and Batwoman Season 2. And for today's video, we have some details related to the crossover that we will be getting this season, so I will be talking about all of that, and I'll be breaking it down. And before I go over that, however, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, so you are aware of more Arrowverse content coming your way. So the Arrowverse shows, obviously due to the pandemic, have been delayed, and this resulted to their next seasons being moved all the way to January 2021, which is just like such a long time away. So this would lead you to believe that there would be no crossover for this year, as the writers and the showrunners and stuff like that would just want to get like as much filming done as possible, and like these crossovers take like 2 or 3 times the amount to film the normal episodes, so you would believe that there would have been no crossover this season. But when the CW schedule was announced, it was also revealed that Batwoman and Superman would be getting a 2-part crossover, just like those Arrow Flash crossovers which we used to have back in those days, and I used to love those. Now, I believe at first it was intended to be Supergirl and Batwoman crossing over, but due to Melissa Benoist's pregnancy, they had to do Superman, because, like, why would you do Batwoman and Superman? Like, it's just so random, and they've barely even met each other. So this is why I think it was intended to be Supergirl at first. The other shows like The Flash and Legends wouldn't get one, which would be weird, because since Arrow is gone, The Flash is basically the face of the Arrowverse, so it just seemed weird that Superman and Lois and Batwoman get a crossover, but like those of like The Flash don't get a crossover. But actually, we do have the CW president, Mark Pedowitz, saying some stuff about a crossover that we will be getting for this coming season. So he does actually confirm that there will indeed be a crossover, and he says, "We're still working on it. It will be a smaller event than usual. We're only planning a 2-hour event. We are talking about Superman and Batwoman together. There's a lot of characters coming from our other shows as well." Okay, so from what Mark Pedowitz is saying over here, I would assume that the main storyline would be for this crossover related to both Superman and Lois and Batwoman. So maybe a main villain from like Batwoman is too powerful for Kate to handle, due to Metropolis and Gotham being like right next to each other. She'd get in touch with Superman, and that's how they crossed them over, I'm guessing. But then they noticed that this is like a Justice League matter, so they called in like the other heroes as well. Or it could be the other way around. Maybe there's a villain in Superman and Lois that's too powerful, and he ends up like going to Gotham, and Clark tracks him down over there and gets the help from Kate like that. Who knows? Now, although this is a 2-part event, this shows that the main villain won't be like that big of like, the Anti-Monitor, but he would still be powerful, saying that the other heroes will be in the crossover as well. And these episodes will take place in both Gotham and Metropolis as well. And in terms of which other characters would be in the crossover for like the first 2 parts, you'd obviously say that the series regular from both Batwoman and Superman and Lois would be in their own parts of their crossover. So let's say part 1 would be Batwoman, so that you would see the series regular still for that part 1. But then when we had shift to Superman's crossover, we would only see like Kate go into Metropolis, but then we'd have the Superman and Lois characters over there. That's what I think, at least. But in terms of the characters from the other shows, who are these characters that Mark Pedowitz is talking about? So sadly, we know for sure Oliver Queen will not be making it for these upcoming crossovers, which is a major and sad change. I am interested to see how things will play out now, because it just isn't the same without Oliver. Oliver's like the best. He's my favorite character in the Arrowverse and just in DC and like any superhero history. Oliver Queen is my favorite character. And the fact that he's not in any more crossovers and the fact that he's dead is just so sad. And like, I'm gonna miss his friendship with Barry as well. But other than that, any character from that Justice League scene in Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 5 would be a possibility. So the Flash you definitely expect to show up for this mini crossover since he is the face of the Arrowverse. Now, it just won't make sense like if you don't have the Flash showing up in a crossover. So that's why I would think that the Flash would show up. In terms of White Canary and Supergirl, that would be hard to decide because first off, Melissa Benoist obviously is pregnant. And I have no idea how long her maternity leave is. And in terms of Legends, Sarah is currently blind, so I really have no idea how she'll be able to do a crossover so far. Obviously, the season 4 Legends didn't end yet, and like she could get her vision back soon, as they will use the Loom of Fate soon. Not only that, but Legends and Supergirl are not in the schedule for January 2021. So by the time the other shows are on their episode 8 or 9, which is like somewhere in like March or February, and episode 8 or 9 would be their like typical crossovers, and when their typical crossovers are. But for when it's episode 8 or 9 for them, for Legends and Supergirl, it will be like during when they're filming their first couple of episodes maybe. So it'll be hard unless they do something similar to Legends where they just like show up for the crossover. But that could also ruin the scheduling for both shows as well. So I don't know how they could do that. Black Lightning is a new member of the Arrowverse Justice League as well. And not only that, but he is in the January 2021 upfront. So obviously this could be a possibility for Black Lightning to show up in this crossover. But the only thing that contradicts this from happening is that Black Lightning films in Atlanta and the other Arrowverse shows film in Vancouver. So unless Black Lightning ends their mid-season finale early, I don't know how they could do it because there will be like clashing and problems with scheduling. So it'll be hard for Black Lightning to show up, but it's still more likely than both Supergirl and Sarah Lance. Now, obviously, like there could be a possibility where all of them could show up. Like I'm not saying they can't show up, but like the side characters, do not expect them at all because they won't be there. But those main Justice League members that I just talked about will have a higher chance to show up. The Flash, like 100%, he will be there. Like you do not need to doubt that. But like the other characters, I don't know. That's like a possibility, I guess. But yeah, guys, this is pretty much it for this video. I know it is a short video, but thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next video.